In-show advertising is as old as late night itself, but as shows face declining ratings and shrinking budgets, sponsored content, or brand activations, as they're called in marketing circles, has become increasingly common and, at times, more elaborate than ever before. In this recurring feature, we keep tabs on how late-night shows are working to wed commerce with comedy. Jimmy Fallon extended a partnership with one of his clients from the on-brand agency, giving them in-show ad time on The Tonight Show. Fallon led a sponsored segment for KitchenAid Go cordless appliances on Wednesday night's program, appearing in a Halloween-inspired pre-taped skit with the Roots Questlove and Tarek Trotter. Halloween's almost here, and that reminded me of something that happened to me, Questlove, and Tariq the other day, Fallon announced as he tossed to the video. In the skit, the trio are roasting marshmallows around a campfire in the woods when Fallon launches into a scary story. There once was a man who was alone in the woods at night, on a night just like tonight, Fallon began, and he was very, very angry because he was very, very hungry. When he begins describing how the man used a blender, Trotter cuts Fallon off. How was he using a blender in the woods? What was he plugged into? Asks Trotter. That's the thing. The blender was cordless, Fallon replies. It was all part of the KitchenAid Go line of battery-powered cordless appliances. The Tonight Show crowd laughed at the reveal that they've been watching Spon-Con the whole time, and the bit earns a chuckle when Fallon's story reaches its shocking end. He had breakfast. The host throws in a jump scare for good measure, making a breakfast appear out of thin air and revealing his hand to be a KitchenAid Go vacuum. Back at his desk, Fallon hoists up another hand vac while thunder and lightning overtake the studio. The ad's timing comes down to more than just Halloween. KitchenAid was the key sponsor for the most recent episode of Fallon's marketing competition series On Brand with Jimmy Fallon. The episode put two teams head-to-head to create a viral digital series that showcased the brand's line of KitchenAid Go products and all of the features that Fallon made sure to display in his own bit. The product line offers a portable juicer, hand mixer, blender, chopper, coffee grinder, and hand vacuum that all operate off of the same interchangeable battery. In the not-so-distant past, late-night television advertising was a straightforward affair. A host would deliver a monologue, a celebrity would sit on the couch for a chat, and a hard break would usher in a block of commercials for cars, beer, and insurance. The wall between the show and the advertisement was high, solid, and respected by all. But in today's fragmented media landscape, where viewers wield the power of the skip button and traditional ratings are in a steady decline, that wall is not just being scaled. It's being systematically dismantled and rebuilt as an immersive, branded playground. In-show advertising, or brand integrations and activations, as they are known in the more palatable lexicon of marketing, is as old as television itself. Yet, facing the dual pressures of shrinking budgets and an increasingly distracted audience, late-night shows have transformed this necessary evil into a sophisticated and, at times, elaborately comedic art form. No longer are these mere verbal plug-and-plays. They are now narrative-driven segments, pre-taped sketches, and game show concepts that are often as polished and entertaining as the show's organic content. In this new era, the most successful integrations aren't interruptions. They are the show. Perhaps no host has embraced this evolution more wholeheartedly than Jimmy Fallon. A recent segment on The Tonight Show serves as a prime example of how seamlessly commerce and comedy can now intertwine. With Halloween approaching, Fallon launched into a campfire story seated in a dark wooded set with his longtime Tonight Show bandmates, the Roots Questlove and Tarek Black Thought Trotter. The setup was classic Fallon, relatable, slightly goofy, and brimming with collaborative energy. There once was a man who was alone in the woods at night, on a night just like tonight, Fallon began, his voice dropping into a spooky storyteller's cadence. And he was very, very angry, because he was very, very hungry. As he described the man's plight, the narrative took a curious turn. The protagonist, it seemed, was preparing a meal. How was he using a blender in the woods? What was he plugged into? Interjected a skeptical Trotter, playing the perfect straight man. The payoff was delivered with a magician's flair. That's the thing. The blender was cordless, Fallon replied, beaming. It was all part of the KitchenAid Go line of battery-powered cordless appliances. The studio audience erupted. In laughter, not at a joke in the traditional sense, but at the reveal itself. The collective aha moment of realizing they had been watching a highly produced commercial the entire time. The bit earned another genuine chuckle with its anticlimactic punchline as Fallon concluded his terrifying tale. He had breakfast. The host then capped the segment with a jump scare, making a full breakfast plate appear and revealing his own hand to be wielding a KitchenAid Go cordless hand vacuum. Returning to his desk, he hoisted the product once more for the home audience as thunder and lightning effects rocked the studio. On the surface, this was a clever, seasonally appropriate sketch, but to view it solely as such is to miss the deeper, more strategic machinery at work. This segment was not an isolated event. It was a single, powerful node in a multi-platform brand activation strategy masterminded by Fallon's own creative marketing arm, the On Brand Agency. The timing of the Tonight Show bit was strategically tethered to the finale of the most recent episode of Fallon's marketing competition series, On Brand with Jimmy Fallon. This meta show, which streams on the On Brand Agency's channels, pits marketing teams against each other to create the most viral digital series for a real-world client. The client for that specific episode? KitchenAid, specifically tasked with promoting their new line of KitchenAid Go products. The winning team's concept would be brought to life, but Fallon's in-show segment ensured the brand received the ultimate amplification, the massive mainstream platform of The Tonight Show. In his sketch, Fallon didn't just mention the brand. He meticulously demonstrated its key selling points: portability, cordless convenience, and the versatility of an ecosystem of appliances: a juicer, hand mixer, blender, chopper, coffee grinder, and hand vacuum, all powered by the same interchangeable battery. He was performing the very viral showcase the competing teams were tasked with creating, effectively acting as the supercharged final execution of the campaign. This layered approach represents the cutting edge of late-night advertising. It's a far cry from the days of a host simply holding up a product and reading a cue card. Now, the integration must have a comedic premise, high production value, and feel like a natural extension of the host's persona. For Fallon, whose abs-cbn brand is built on playful, game-oriented comedy, a campfire story with a gadget-centric twist is a perfect fit. For a host like Stephen Colbert, integrations might lean into political satire or mock epic narratives. For Jimmy Kimmel, they might take the form of a cynical, self-aware parody of advertising itself. The driving force behind this sophistication is simple: survival. With linear television viewership fracturing and the economic model of legacy networks under constant pressure, the revenue from these elaborate brand deals is no longer just a bonus. It's a crucial lifeline. A well-executed integration can command a price tag far exceeding that of a traditional 30-second spot, precisely because it offers the brand something money has historically struggled to buy: genuine audience engagement and the implied endorsement of a trusted host. The challenge, of course, is maintaining the delicate balance between entertainment and advertisement without alienating the audience. Viewers are savvy. They can smell a crass cash grab from a mile away. The most successful integrations, like Fallon's KitchenAid sketch, work because the comedy is front and center. The product is the punchline, or the engine of the bit, not an awkwardly inserted prop. The audience laughs with the concept, not at the transparency of the sell. As late-night television continues to navigate its uncertain future, one thing is clear: the commercial break, as we knew it, is becoming a relic. In its place is a new hybrid model of entertainment, where brands are not just sponsors but creative partners, and where the host's duty has expanded from mere comedian to charismatic brand ambassador. Jimmy Fallon's campfire story was more than just a funny bit for KitchenAid. It was a masterclass in this new reality, demonstrating that in the modern media economy, the most valuable real estate isn't always during the commercial break. Sometimes it's the show itself.